everybody. So we're back for our second video. This time we are going to work on setting up the menu of pages for our website. So you can log into your Wix account and then I'm going to select the site that I was working with last time. So you select an edit site and it will bring you to this page, Site Actions. And I'm going to put edit site. So that brings me to the loading page. Okay, so here's the site as I left it. This is the way it looked when we were working with it before. So now the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to add pages. So you want to go up here to the add button. And then you want to hit page, not section to page, but page. So the first page that I want us to add, just so that we have some continuity, let's start with a defining some terms page. Now, that can take, these layouts are obviously just generic and they're made for any kind of a website for any reason. So they're not really exactly the way we want them, but we're going to pick anything that I would say has a picture to the right and then has room for text to the left or vice versa. So somewhere where you have some text to the side. So here, we're not going to get into the details of the content yet, but let's just set the page up. So we're going to hit edit. And on the title, let's change that to, let's see, what do I have on my page? Yeah, let's just change it to defining terms. Defining terms. And then the way that I had subtitled it on my other sample website is meanings matter. So let's get on the same page, just as a way of setting up that I'm about to put keywords, key terms from my paper here. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to delete this text that they have here just to get it out of my way. And I'm going to just write myself a note, insert several key definitions here. Okay, and then we'll talk about how to do that later. You should edit and replace the picture when you get a chance. The other thing that you want to do is you'll see that there are all these buttons. Like if you leave the page as it is, it's got this Learn More button. You don't want that. So here where it says buttons, you're going to uncheck that box and that's going to get rid of that button. We don't want a bunch of buttons that go nowhere on here. Okay, so that is our first page, defining terms. Now, what we want to do is, though, we want to rename the page. So we're going to go to where it says pages and see how now we have our home page and then we have this page that's called About. So we want to rename this to be defining some terms. So we're going to go to the gear here for settings and we're going to go rename. And then we're going to call it defining some terms. And that is going to be the name for that page. Now let's add another page. So add a page. Now this one is going to be called laying some groundwork. Now we want to have our pages kind of varied in the way that they look. So let's see if we can go to the services page and see if we get some different layouts. Those are probably not really conducive because we want to have some major chunks of text on these. So let's go to the About pages again. But this time let's choose one where the text is either above or below a picture. Let's choose this one. So this one is going to be, we're going to edit it again. This one is going to be called laying some groundwork. And then let's call it setting the context for discussion. So here, what this page would be is a brief overview of the problem or topic that's under discussion. So you want it to be a little more in depth than the little blurb on your homepage. You want to have maybe if it's a problem solution type paper, you want to have your evidence that there's a problem laid out like I did in that sample page. If it is just a general topic, informative kind of a paper, then you want to maybe in this section lay out your research questions in depth. So let's say either prove the problem. Oops. Yeah, as you know, I can't type and talk at the same time. Or present research questions. That's the kind of thing that would go in this section. So you can just jot yourself a note so you remember that. All right, so that is that page. Now again, we're going to go here and we're going to rename it. So we're going to go to rename and we're going to call it laying some groundwork. Or you can call it setting the stage, or you can call it anything like that, something about establishing the context. We're going to create 2 more pages. So first of all, we're going to add a page for the literature review. So again, I found this layout was what I chose, but then you'll notice, I'll show you in a second what I did on this one. So let's call this literature review. But what you're going to want for this one is you're going to want 3 sections because you have written a literature review of 3 articles. So let's set that up. See where it says add new section here? So I'm going to hit that. And then I'm going to choose another section. I don't want them to be exactly the same though. I like to at least alternate whether the text is on the left or the right of the picture. So let's see if we can do that. Let's see if there's any. These are all showing the text on the right, which is not the end of the world. I guess we can just deal with that. So then that, and then we want to add one more. Here we go. So we've got 3 sections that are going to be the literature review for our 3 articles. So for example, on this one, it's going to be Article 1, but you're going to want to put the title of the article and use the actual title, and for the subtitle, use the author's name, because this is going to be an actual summary of Article 1. Goodness. Okay. So then here, same thing. You're going to do Article 2, the actual title. Then here, the author of Article 2. And then here, a summary of Article 2. And then down here, okay, so you can see how that's going to look. Article 1, 2, 3. So that is your literature review section. All right. So now let's just let's see. Let's make sure. Yeah, it got renamed properly. So let's go to our home page for a second, and let's just preview the site so we can see what it's going to look like. So you can see we've got the home page. We've got defining some terms right there. Got laying some groundwork right there. And you've got your literature review right there. So everything is looking just like it's supposed to. We've got our buttons here. Now we're going to add one more page, and we're going to actually probably end up adding another page later, but I just wanted to give you this little setup first. Let's see. I guess we'll just use the About page and just choose one where it's front and center. This one, we maybe do the survey page. Oops, I didn't want one with a video. All right, so let's just replace that real quick because I don't want a video. Okay. So, all right, anyway, for the About Us section, instead of that, just put, whoops, take a survey. And then what we're going to do is we're going to create a link. So we want to get rid of that. That's how we get rid of that. Okay. We're going to get rid of that, and we're going to add a button to a link. We don't want the Get in Touch button. It keeps trying to tell you what we're going to. All right, so we're going to do a link, and it's going to be to your survey. So let me just grab my survey link. If I go into my Google Docs and I go into my forms, and I can get my, I can get this form here. I've got to make sure I'm getting the correct link, shorten the URL, so I can get that. And then I'm going to link it to this web address. So I'm going to paste it there. Done. And then, let's see, which one did, yeah, so I'm going to get rid of this second one, this, because we don't need that. All right, so the second one I'm going to get rid of because that's not, so then I can edit the button so that the button itself says survey instead of Get in Touch. That way, when people click on this, it's just going to take them straight to the survey. All right. So I know it's a little bit difficult to do this in a coherent way on online like this, but let's just make sure all of our pages are right. So we're going to rename this one Survey. Then let's just hit publish so that everything saves. Now we'll view the site. Okay. So you should have now on your home page these buttons: the home, defining some terms, laying some groundwork, literature review, and survey. And then that survey should be linked to your survey that you created. I know we kind of went flying through that, but that is what things should be looking like at this point. So if you have any questions, definitely get in touch with me, and we will come back and kind of review a little bit and then move into some of the fine tuning when we get into video 3. So have fun with it, be creative, pull in some good images, and just get this structure in place, and then we will start talking in depth about how to add content. Okay, so email me with any questions and enjoy.